Welcome back, everyone. Next, we have an update from BioVaxys Technology Corp, which trades on the OTCQB under the symbol BVAXF and on the CSE under the symbol BIOV, and is a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company dedicated to improving patient lives with novel immunotherapies. Today, we have CEO James Passin and COO Ken Kovan, and Ken is joining us from the phone. Welcome, gentlemen. We want to kick off this quick update with the news, today's news on DPX as a potential game changer for mRNA vaccines. Tell us about it.
Great. Hello, and glad to be here today. To see why DPX can be the carrier of choice for mRNA vaccines, you first really need to go through some basics on mRNA to understand this. mRNA vaccines, they've been like a major breakthrough. They've been proven for COVID vaccines, as we all know, and they're now becoming the foundation for a number of new vaccine programs. Messenger RNA or mRNA, it's a single-strand RNA, and it programs ribosomes in cells to make specific proteins. And that's what you want to see. You want to be able to get mRNA into cells so it makes specific proteins that stimulate an immune response towards these antigens. You can't just inject mRNA, and this is where delivery becomes important. It needs to be placed in a delivery vehicle just due to the characteristics of the nucleotide. So therefore, it's packaging delivery is absolutely critical for mRNA. The issue, however, is that there are a number of limitations with current delivery systems, whether they're aqueous, whether they're lipid nanoparticle delivery, and those are the ones that are typically used for mRNA packaging. So we've got a lot of really interesting, mRNA programs, but we need to be able to get them into the cell for them to do their job.
And if you can talk a little bit about what some of the challenges and limitations are of LNPs and explain what an LNP is, please.
Sure. LNP, it's a lipid nanoparticle. It's a fat molecule, basically, that encapsulates the antigen. The known issues, I should say, of LNPs are adverse reactions, and those actually were seen with some of the COVID vaccines, and these are primarily attributed to the LNPs and not to the mRNA. The other thing is that LNPs they're systemic. When you got a COVID shot, that nanoparticle was distributed systemically through your body, and it could also spill out of the injection site, leading to systemic inflammatory responses. They lack stability, and this is again well known, and they do degrade in the body, and also they have very limited storage and delivery stability characteristics. James, you made a comment. You shared a really interesting article on Nature the other day.
Yeah, there's a very interesting peer-reviewed paper published in Nature, which is a prestigious publication. And it was very interesting because this really was detailed analysis of mRNA vaccines, in particular with the COVID vaccine and the animal model, showing that the lipids they're accumulating off target. And so what we know with DPX is that there's no systemic release of the cargo. We only communicate with the lymph node system. So really, from the point of view of safety and efficacy, we think DPX is exponentially superior to LNPs.
And if you can talk a little bit more about that, hash that out for us a bit. Why is DPX emerging as a better alternative for the mRNA vaccine that we know about?
Sure. We've talked beforehand about prior studies showing that DPX recruits and activates very unique subsets of antigen-presenting cells to drive immunogenicity, and we've already shown superior immune activation, and we've talked about this before compared to aqueous and emulsion-based antigen delivery systems. So now, what's exciting from the news that we shared today is proof of concept studies that were done, with DPX mRNA formulations. They showed that DPX provides excellent stability of packaged mRNA, which, number one, that's an advantage over the LNPs right away. It attracts a therapeutically unique subset of antigen-presenting cells, and for targeted uptake. And number two, that's an advantage, over LNPs. And third is that DPX encapsulation is inducing immune responses towards whatever these encoded antigens might be. So it's really the inherent characteristics of DPX that make it superior. It's the non-aqueous nature. It's the fact that it's non-systemic. It's the fact that it it also has its on its own individually has its own immune stimulatory characteristics. These are all advantages over LNPs that we see this leading to this becoming what we said is fundamentally a game changer, or highly disruptive in the packaging antigen packaging field.
And so, with all that said, what's next for BioVaxys in advancing this DPX technology for mRNA vaccines?
Well, we've had some interest from some biotech companies that are involved in mRNA development and taking a look at DPX. We've also have very serious interest from several prestigious academic institutions that want to do DPX mRNA experiments. So the great thing is that we have a very large inventory of custom lipids that are needed to produce DPX. So we'll be ready to go as soon as we onboard any kind of collaborative research partner.
And how important and significant is DPX mRNA for BioVaxys?
Our most advanced clinical stage assets are in oncology. If you recall, we bought the intellectual property of a bankrupted biotechnology company, IMV. IMV was primarily focused on oncology, or not entirely. We know there's massive economic value in our oncology products, in particular MVPS, which is our closest pharma product to market. However, with our mRNA revolution, with the amount of capital flowing into mRNA research, and with the excitement going on, in particular with mRNA-based personalized cancer vaccines, we think that once we can demonstrate that DPX is a superior delivery platform for mRNA, this gives us the opportunity to tap into a market that for BioVaxys should be worth billions of dollars.
Yeah. I just want to add in there too, is we've been at the we were up in Boston early in December at the Personalized Cancer Vaccine Conference, and this week we've been participating with at JPM week at the bio partnering sessions, and no great surprise. All we're seeing there are companies that are aggressively looking to develop neoantigens based on personalized cancer vaccines based on unique neoantigens, and they're all going to require a delivery mechanism. So we're really excited that we're looking to be in the right place at the right time.
And a few more questions from our viewers. Is there any positive news from the meetings and the trip to China? I would just suggest sitting tight. So we're working on some things. There's nothing that we're able to disclose today. And a question from Robert asking about BioVaxys what's it doing differently than IMV regarding pursuing potential partners relating to DPX? And why do you believe now is the time that DPX will elicit more attention than when it was a property of IMV?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. And that's something that, James and I had put our heads together with when we were looking at doing the acquisition. And from what we could see, IMV's focus was on, developing MVPS. I mean, they had advanced that through phase 2B in different tumor types. And no question about it. I mean, it's a very, very, exciting and interesting, vaccine. But, their particular path, as with many, it's not unique to them, with many biotechs, is to, basically put all their eggs in one basket with a lead, compound, and kind of sit back and pray that the data is going to be good, from it. And it's expensive to do that, but that's the particular strategy that looks like that they employed. It's not that they forgot about DPX; it's just that they, I think, employed a different approach. Ours is one where we're looking at this as saying that the platform is the product rather than the products from the platform. So we're looking at DPX as being the foundation for a whole range of different therapeutics in different fields. So it's nothing against IMV. They picked a strategy that works for a lot of companies and doesn't work for a lot of companies. We're more optimistic with the approach that we're taking because we're not dependent upon any one particular drug to be successful or a failure.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for this update, and we look forward to continuing on in 2025 with you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thanks.